Hi, this YouTube video is Python split and join. Split and join are both functions of string, and they help us work with strings when we want to split them into a list of strings. And join does the reverse. So split takes a string and returns a list of substrings, and join takes a list of strings and returns a joined list. But of course they take more than just that. Let's look at the syntax for split. Split takes a string and returns a list of substrings. That's true. What type of string does it take? It takes a string delimiter. What is a delimiter? It is basically a limit. It's a marker that marks the beginning and the ending of something. So if our string is, let's say it's a sentence, this is a sentence of words. If we wanted to split this into its individual words, which is something we'll probably have to do in the homework next week, we can say my list equals my string that's split, and we'll put a space in the argument. The argument being, of course, the object that we put into the parentheses when we run split. One argument, a single space. If we were to print my list at this point, we would get a list that says this is a sentence of, you know where I'm going with this? Words. Let's try it out. Print my list. Oh, we had a list indices must be integers, not tuple. What's going on here? Oh, I see. I didn't comment this as I should. Let's try it again. Clear. This is a sentence of words, so I was exactly right. Printing my list is printing this list. As you can see, my string is called on the string. That means that it's a string method. And it takes a string delimiter. That means, what's between it. What's between the elements that we want. Notice that the space is missing here. There is no space. The spaces between the words have been removed. Another more graphic example would be my fields equals my string line dot split. And what if we had a string line that had colons in it? And then we printed my fields. We'd get back, this is a colon separated values string. As you can see, it did the same thing. It removed the colons. Now, this is something you'll have to do in your homework for homework 3. The delimiter simply marks where each element should begin and end, and it's removed. Split always takes this, it may take this argument, and it always returns a list. That's the point of split. And actually, split doesn't have to take that argument. Split could take no argument. Let's see what it does then. I'm commenting out these lines just to keep them out of the way. Again, this is a sentence of words. That's my string. We say my string split, and this time we give it no argument. And it returns a list. We're now going to print the list to see what we get. And oh, this is a sentence of words. Very good. It looks like that split without any argument splits on white space. And actually, as it turns out, it can be more than just one space. It can be a bunch of spaces. It'll remove all the white space and return just the words, that is everything but the white space, as elements of a list. So that's split. And it's extremely useful. If in the second example or in the homework, and the homework is based on something that you could easily be asked to do at a job, please take this CSV file and pull out some information from it. split then becomes eminently useful because it doesn't require that we look for the colon. It doesn't require that we find out where the colon is. All we need to do is split on the colon, and the pieces are very conveniently created for us. Now, join would be the reverse. So if we stick with this one, and we're interested in taking these fields and maybe joining them back together as a comma-separated values file, we could say CSV line equals, interestingly, we call the join on the delimiter character and we pass it the list. Why? Because they made join into not a list method, but a string method, because it really sort of kind of belongs with split as sort of partner methods. And because we want to call it on a string, we'll take the string delimiter, the comma, and we'll call join on that, passing to it in the arguments list the list. So we take the list, we printed my fields so we can see what it looks like. We'll print again, and then we'll print CSV line after joining. Try that. Aha! So what happened was, and in fact maybe we can just drive this home by printing my string line and then print, then split, then print my fields, then a blank line. Then we'll join and we'll print CSV line. So what we started with was a colon separated values line. We were able to split it into a list, and then we were able to join it back together as a comma separated values string. Now notice how easy it is to do this with simply a mastery of split and join. And these are rather simple methods. They're so simple that it won't be long before you've memorized them. But even more powerfully, with the fields split for us into a very convenient list, we could change any one element and then rewrite the file that we'd read as something different. 0, 1, 2, 3. So if we wanted to change this word to comma, and this being the fourth element or subscript 3, we could just say my fields 3 equals comma. And I'll put that here. It's clear. Awesome. We started with a colon separated values string where the third field or the fourth field in the line was colon. We split it into this lovely list, calling it lovely just because it's so convenient. And then we went ahead and changed the fourth element to comma, overwriting the string word colon in the fourth element, and then joined it back together as a comma separated values string using comma.join. So this string dot join, and then passing to it the list, as I said before. And look, now it says this is a comma separated values string. So imagine what you could do with a database of values, maybe not unlike the some of the files that we've seen here, like in your homework, for example, you're to work with a colon separated values file. This is a small and kind of made up example, but it doesn't mean that you're not going to run into a situation like this. And you could run into a database that has thousands of lines of data in colon separated values format or comma separated values format. And it would be up to you to work with this data. How would you do it? Well, of course, in your homework, you're going to be doing it. And you'll be able to use those same techniques that you use to isolate individual fields and put them into new structures, as you did here in the homework. You'll be able to apply the same algorithms to your work outside. It's extremely useful, extremely convenient, very powerful, and really easy. So look what I do for you. Thank you. Have a great night, and thanks for listening.